Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to AFK challenges. Oh my god. So you're going to need tiny tasks for this. I'll leave the link in the description or something like that. Before I show you how to do the macro though, these are the rewards I got from just a little over 12 hours of being AFK. So the main reason you would go AFK in challenges is for either skill orb or rainbow ghost 3s. And you're going to need a lot of these if you want to evolve a lot of units, so this is pretty useful. Alright, so step 1 of macroing is to copy my settings down real quick. So these are the settings, go ahead and copy them. Your recording hotkey and playback hotkey don't really matter, but these are the ones I'm using right now. Step 2 is using the right units. Now you can kind of use a lot of different units for this, but in my opinion the best unit is Zeke for this. I'd rather use a ground unit than a hill unit. Try to avoid using hill units. And then step 3, play the game. Alright, so now you can go ahead and start recording your macro and then join your private server. And then after you load in, you want to give it about 10 or 15 more seconds so you can, because sometimes you load in a little later or a little earlier than you did while recording the macro. Alright, so after we gave it a little more time, you want to go ahead and spam click down here. It might seem stupid, but you gotta do what you gotta do to do this. So then you want to go ahead and click warp and then go to challenges and then close challenges. Make sure you kind of always click everything multiple times. So when I close out of challenges, I clicked it like 2 or 3 times. But anyways, you want to just walk forwards a little bit and then walk to the right and then go into challenges. Now you can do any of these challenges, but I wouldn't recommend doing this one because it can never drop you reroll. I guess it can drop you rerolls, but it can never drop you like rainbow ghost 3s. It can only drop these skill orbs. So it's better to just do one of these. So I'll go ahead and do this one, which right now this one gives ghost 3s and traits. So you go ahead and click confirm, and now you're actually going to want to find a teammate. So this kind of does involve leeching a little bit. Once you see how this actually works, it's not really leeching as much as you think. But you want to wait a little bit for it to load in. And then you can go ahead and spam start game for probably about 5-10 seconds. And then after you're done spamming, you want to go ahead and click O a bunch of times so you can zoom out. And then the next step is you just spam Zeeks everywhere. And you just keep doing this for a little while until you have all 3 Zeeks down. And then once you're done spamming, you can go ahead and just hit T and then hit auto upgrade on all your Zeeks, which I only have 1 Zeke, so I'm just going to auto upgrade that one. And then you can kind of help your teammate out while he does all the work. But I usually end up out damaging the people I'm doing the runs with because Zeke is kind of really good. But that's pretty much the whole macro. You just wait until you win from now on. Now one thing about this macro is it sometimes can't solo high cost, or it sometimes can't do high cost so you'll die. And it sometimes, well always can't do random units unless you somehow got Zeke. But random units and high costs are really hard for it to beat. So sometimes it won't beat every challenge. Alright, so we won the game. What you want to do after this is wait about 1 minute, maybe 1.5 minutes if you want to be safe. Because some challenges you win them slower than others. So you just want to wait a little bit. Alright, so it's been about a minute now. I'm going to go ahead and do Alt F4 and then click around over here because sometimes that thing will get in the way. And then you can go ahead and end the macro. There you go. You just macroed challenges unless you couldn't figure out how to do it. Alright, so this macro, all you gotta know is it's a little bit scummy to do this because you know, you're not really helping out your teammate as much. But you know, challenges are pretty easy, so you're gonna win them pretty much 100% of the time doing this. A lot of people are gonna say this is leeching, and I'm not gonna disagree. I'm not gonna disagree. But anyways, that's how you do it. You can get a lot. You can get a lot of this stuff, and a lot of this stuff. You also get some rerolls overnight. You get like what 1 or 2 thousand gems. I don't really remember how many gems I got. So it's a really good farm for kind of everything. I got a ton of XP doing it too. I think actually. When I say XP, I mean this kind of XP. But anyways, don't come crying and complaining to me if it doesn't beat every single challenge because it's not going to beat random units challenges and sometimes it won't beat high cost challenges. You can also try to do this macro without joining people, but you're going to lose a lot more often and it's just better to find a teammate to do it with. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video where I encourage racism and then I encourage racism in the disguise of a macro. I tell people it's a macro, but it's really just racism. It's a good video. Goodbye. What the heck is going on?
Yeah, step back a little, bud.
Yeah, you're not the freaking ore farmer.
Peter, who are you feeling like?
I can't get outdo by Mitch, bro. Come on, bro. Mitch, stop!